Aoniche, welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live Q&A for Na Baroque episode 15, the one focused on food in Cote d'Ivoire. So Nala Sona video ni Diara Aoye. Just doing a live stream here to see if anyone has any questions. I hope you all liked the episode. It was a lot of work. Let me know where you're watching from. So I'd be really curious who all made it into the live stream. And yeah, just to get things started, I thought it'd be cool to look at briefly some of the stills from the episode, just to jog people's memory. So hopefully, we can start up here. Some of the stills. So it was filmed. If anyone knows and they're watching, if they know where we filmed or the neighborhood, please chime in. I'd be curious to see if there's any Abidjanais. Ni Irebibo Abidjan. Wa I ba lo I video ni ke yorome ba foye nala sona amna fenga sebeka yira mugola ayo. So yeah, it was a great episode. I wish we could have done more filming of actual food. I think you saw there was a little bit of what's called B-roll of some of the cheque and stuff, but really not so much. Yeah, it was just, the constraint of being out there and doing the episode. If it had unlimited time and resources, definitely would have liked to go around trying to film all the food. But it was really cool nonetheless, I think, to hear from people. So yeah, I'm really curious for you all what you liked about the episode. And most importantly, I think I should ask you, what food item do you actually like? So, dumuni juma kadi aoye. Dumuni juma kadi aoye. Chake le kadaoye, to le kadaoye, buru le kadaoye, malo le kadaoye, iba foye. Asabe commentaire kono. So let me know in the comments which one of the food items would be your favorite, and let me know where you're watching from. Really curious to see who all has joined the live stream. So these are just some of the images, just to jog people's memory. Yeah, and this is a live Q&A. So if you have any questions about things that people said, things that you didn't catch, if there was something that you were really confused about, please let me know. But hopefully otherwise you liked the episode and you're enjoying these images. I really liked speaking with her. Musa ni kone mogo nyumalo. Ale fanchama faye nafatumbe mena. She really explained things in a detailed kind of way. It's always amazing the kinds of varied responses you get. Let me get the mouse out of the way. This woman, she was great. She's an amazing salesperson and really was even willing to show some of the cheque and stuff on the fly. She was really great. So I think that comes out in the video. And here you can see there she is actually holding out her cheque to show it. And then later we got some close-ups. So there she was. She even ate some for us. Didn't make it on camera. There are some of the loco being cooked. That's what was cool. I mean, I guess it would have been better to actually show some of the ways that people were actually preparing and doing street food. But I'm hoping that nonetheless you like the vocab and things that come up. So those are just some of the images. We'll stop there for now and let me have a look at the comments. Let's see if anybody is watching this live stream. So let me see if I can figure out how to get my comments open again. Iowa. So, where are people watching from? We have Solmar from Sweden. Iniche, Solmar, Kobe Chokodi. Ini famasa. It's been a while. Good to see you in the chat. And you're also hungry. Kongo bila si sande. Bon, nala sona evna seka dosoro. Kam su koraya. Ambe Europe. Fo anka Dominica yani doni. I hope you have some nice food planned that you can eat tonight. Maybe something West African even. Aywa. So Aminata Ko, she loves acheke and plakali. Okay, see, so this is one of the things it's interesting, plakali as a concept, because it's very Ivoirian, because for me in Burkina Faso, of course we have plakali, but plakali is just banankuto. So it's just to of bananku, or of cassava. And I don't know where the name plakali actually originally comes from. It's not a Jula word, it must be from some other language. And it's funny to see the way that plakali, therefore, is become like the default term in Cote d'Ivoire, but not elsewhere. In Burkina, I never heard anyone say plakali. Aywa. And then we have Aminata says lafidi. I have had lafidi, and I also love it. Actually, there's a guy that talks about it in the video. So let me see if I can pull it up and you can see it. So this is back in the episode, and I think it's towards the end. I hope it's still in the episode. So this guy talks about what he likes. Oh no, it's a little bit before. This guy likes.
Domon Bella Abidjan, Domon Jarane Koseba Koseba or Garbadi.
So it's in here.
Ode Naga Domon preferé.
Ne Dominic Bella. No one make chicken dum
It's the guy with glasses. Where is he?
Ni madum soma, madum. Jaga one negadni.
Domon Bella Abidjan, Domon Jarane Koseba Koseba.
So I tried to make it a lot shorter, the episode. It was really long originally, so maybe I got rid of that part. But he actually brings up specifically la fidi, which is kind of like riz gras that's then been, it's a little crunchy and recooked. Oh, here you go. So he says sumba la fidi. So this is the guy. Let's see if we can hear it. Let's go back just a little bit. So the guy with the glasses, let's listen to it.
C'est comme shawarma africain.
Dominic Bella, Jumele Kadi Iye.
Nea. Jaga one negadni.
Domon Bella Abidjan, Domon Jarane Koseba Koseba or Garbadi. Ode Naga Domon preferé.
Ne Dominic Bella. No one make chicken dum kacham dum ni be. Ni madum soma, madum tilife, ni madum tilife, madum souffle.
Lebe futu dum. Be garba dum. Be bantunu ka sumara free. Ani tigade.
So you catch that one? He says sumbare free. So actually, la fidi is just the name used in Guinea, but here he says free. Free, fidi, la fidi, free, abe kele. So I have had it. Amy, that's a really good question. She asked that specifically. But here we see this guy says it, and I do really like it. Aywa. So let's go back here. Some of our other comments here. We have, I adore acheke too. Cheke konika dine that. I really like acheke, but I tend to be with fish a little bit. I like fish, but sometimes I get it and there's bones in my throat and it's horrible. So I like acheke, but I actually like it with loco. Loco le kadine cheke ka. Aywa. Donc, seulement, alebe moufe, ko alebe loco ani tegedege. Loco ani tegedege kadide, tegedege le kadine katame fem bekan. Aywa. Donc, John Lebe, we have berete jara. Inisu, ne tokoko berete mbora malanga ne wola franci, nebe chekefe. Bon, jara ke, ni jara in kosobe, ekoni ebese bomanakana kosobe. Halini e wola franci. Me akoni fana isaraka asebe chokodon. Isaraka asebe chokodon chokodi iya kalanwa. Akoni anyana feu. Donc ijara. Ini barasa. Ini bara. Ebe yoro jime franci. Iba fonye. Ne fana nebe franci. Nebe pari. Aywa. So aloko, actually it's because the name just in French people say aloko, but I think you hear plenty of times in this episode that people say loco. So loco is just the name that people tend to use in my experience mostly in Jula, and aloko is actually I think the original language that it might come from, which now is used in French. So sometimes in this video people say aloko, but I think that's mostly just because they're just saying it the way it's said in French as opposed to the way it's said in Jula. So good question. Aloko in Cote d'Ivoire, loco in Mali, abe fan kelene. Aywa. All right, so I wanted to know if anybody had any questions about the episode. So we're gonna go through a few more stills to get people's memory going. If you have any questions about the episode or just about Manding or anything in general, now's the time. So let me know. So what did we have here? We had some more of these stills here. So hopefully you guys can all see these. So just a few more images to get people remembering what we were covered and if they have any particular questions or anything from the episode. And if you have any feedback, if you have any ideas of things that I could have done better in the video, now's a great time. I did my best to make it readable, also fun, not too slow, not too fast, and not too much information. So I hope you all liked it. And yeah, of course, thanks for coming to the live Q&A. Last time I edited some of the clips together and I put them out as separate videos for people kind of as a general resource. So that's my idea. If anyone has any questions, our conversations from these can end up being resources for other people that want to learn the language. All right, and yeah, I should say thanks to everyone that's a patron that's watching. Auniche, alakao sara. Couldn't have done this trip and wouldn't be pursuing this whole project without patrons' help. So thank you to all of you that have considered or are actual patrons. Auniche, alakao walinyuma don't. Aiwa. So let's see what we got in the chat. Are there any questions? And hopefully we can get some more information here. Aiwa. So, donc c'est ça. Aiwa. So we have some nice comments. Solman says it was great. It was great. Was smiling along the live. Aiwa. Iniche. Ojara yeni seraka yele mesembo. I'm glad that people like the live. It's kind of fun to do. I'm always curious it'd be something if I did more regular, if people would like to join. If you have any ideas of what I could do to improve it, let me know. Otherwise, any questions about the episode, now's the time. So, berete. Ako, j'utilise le clavier Bambara, Nebebo Paris. Mais c'est ça. On utilise le clavier, mais quand même, ça veut dire que tu sais quand même bien l'utiliser. Donc, tu sais bien écrire parce qu'on peut connaître le clavier sans pour autant pouvoir bien écrire les mots. Donc, je me demandais si tu avais déjà étudié la langue. Est-ce que il fait un kani à sabechogo ia kalan yoro dolawa na soro ia kalan so na soro ebe deme ka sebetedro. Donc, bon, on va faire ka dedans. On va faire ka dedans. Iniche. Ne fanambe Paris. Donc, tout le monde a ié ibe un faux. Amana boroke amana te do mi nyoko fe. Aiwa inche. Ebe fan du ma fe Paris. Iba foye. Aiwa. Aiwa. So we got a nice comment here from Diano. Iniche, your new episode is awesome. I loved it. 100. Hey, thank you so much. It really means a lot to me. I actually think, were you not one of the people that originally suggested doing the episode about food? It was something that a lot of people had asked for when I was saying, hey, I'm going to do the trip, and I was looking for topics, and I feel like I got message from you specifically about it. Bon, ikoni inana jare kosobe. So the best thing you can do if you want to help me out is think about sharing the video, telling other people about it. Yeah, the YouTube channel has kind of been going slowly but surely, but the best thing is just more exposure and to see if more people want to watch it. Aiwa. Donc c'est ça. We have Jackson who tuned in. Just missed it. Oh no, Jackson, you can still watch it. You can actually watch it and then join the live. Maybe we'll still be here. But you said that you love na baroque. We can show some little clips if you wanted. I mean, we can even watch it again if people really want to watch the episode. I can pull it up. We can watch it with live commentary. That'd be kind of crazy. We start from the beginning.
Salam alaikum. Auniche, au danse na baroque ka kenekan.
So let me know if that's something that people would want to do, is that we would actually watch it and go slowly, section by section or something. That's really, really cool. Otherwise, we have some more comments, and it looks like it's in video kai. Iniche, amba video kai. So this is interesting. Your decision to write it as video, which is kind of the official Bambara method of writing it, just as it would be pronounced, not video though, but just using the Bambara sounds. And I'm wondering, are you writing it that way yourself because you learned it and you like it, or is it from Google Translate, or is that what, yeah, I'm just curious because I use the convention in Na Baroque of actually preserving French orthography, because when French speakers write English, they don't write it in like à la française. Si les Américains ils disent life, L-I-F-E, bah les Français ils l'écrivent L-I-F-E. Ils vont pas l'écrire à la française en changeant l'orthographe. So I'm kind of curious how you decided to write the way that you do. Iowa. So are there any other questions about the episode? We can jump in, and I'd be happy to go through any of the sections of the video if people have things that they want to talk about. Otherwise, my main question for you all was just Jumaka di iye. So if anyone's new and they've tuned in and they're watching, Jumaka di iye. So I feel like most people said that they like cheke. So actually what's interesting, let me pull this up. Hopefully we can still see it okay. So I'm going to pull this up and I'm going to screen share with you all. Can you see this all right? Yes. So one of the things I'm super curious about is if you look at which one people in the YouTube audience said, you can see overwhelmingly people said cheque. But when I ran this on YouTube, on Twitter, everyone said to. So I don't know, I'm also curious since I feel like more people that watch Ankata on YouTube are from the US, France, and Mali. I'm still surprised that cheque was the top one. I feel like in Burkina, everyone knows cheque, but most people consider to the kind of la base, the main thing that people eat, but actually most people want cheque. So yeah, pleasantly surprised. I was curious if anyone else thought that was surprising. What else we asked people? And I said, have you ever eaten garaba? So has anyone here would you let me know in the comments if you've eaten garaba? So garaba was something that also confused me when I was in Burkina. Mogosita foko garaba, beba foko cheque. So I was kind of interested, or it was really surprising to learn that garaba is basically just a cheque. But it's a kind that's made by men that's normally sits out lower quality and uses only tuna fish that's been fried. It was interesting, the one guy talks about where the name came from, but it's interesting the way that garaba, for some people, that's the main food dish, but for others, they're like, oh no, it's cheque in general, and garaba is just a special subtype. I was curious if anyone else had already heard about that. And I thought I did one more question about, oh yeah, this was kind of funny. I asked people, Jumaye cheque. So I asked these about these food items. Imaye, mogo do tumba miriko ni tuye cheque, kasoro ni toye, ni kabatoye. Ne tuye foto nita kong, tumamanan tume kodibari, ni fana ni farini, Donc, be faida be ka lonko ni cheque le, me bete det. Aiwa. So let's check our comments one last time, and then we will otherwise think about wrapping this up if there's no specific questions. And if I can get back to just looking at the screen. Aiwa. So do we have any more questions from people? Aminata, cool. How long have you been learning Jula? How did you find it, and what got you interested? Aiwa. So I did a whole video about this. It's a video, if you type in YouTube, like why I speak and teach Mandang. But the long story short is that I did Peace Corps in Burkina Faso near the border of Cote d'Ivoire and Mali back in 2009, 2011. And I was sent there. I did Peace Corps. I thought I wanted to be a diplomat or work in foreign affairs or that kind of thing. And I had finished college and I applied to the Peace Corps and got in, and I knew I wanted to learn another language. I actually was hoping to learn Arabic. I had been to Morocco when I studied abroad in France. I was lucky enough to take a trip to Morocco over my spring break, and so I really felt like, okay, it's francophone, but also they speak Arabic, and if I do Peace Corps there, I could learn Arabic. Peace Corps, though, they said to me, hey, no, we actually want to send you to Francophone West Africa, and I said, well, as long as it's Francophone and I can use that kind of skill set, I'm down to do it. And as soon as I found out, I was like looking up all the languages and stuff, and I saw that there was this thing called Jula, because then at that point they had told me I was going to Burkina, and there was a trade language spoken across lots of parts of West Africa. I didn't really understand exactly what it meant, but I was like, okay, I really hope that I get to learn that language. And I was lucky enough that I did. And then, yeah, from there, the rest is history. I went crazy and got a research grant and then did a PhD, and now I have a YouTube channel. All right, let's see if we have any other questions. Okay, well, first of all, we have a little comment. Diano says, yes, I asked for it exactly. Aha, oye, fan nyumambale. Ayo, nijara ikosobe. I'm so glad to hear that it was actually the topic that you asked for. I hope I did it justice. I don't think that it was perfect, but well, don't lo, anye doke, anseraka mike anye okay. Nala sona, ni shini kenyal be, amana do wareke. I'd love to do other videos. I'd love to go back and do like something specifically just with someone, like kind of like semi-tutorial documentary videos about people making specific stuff. Just need to plan another trip. See if I can figure out how to make it work, find time and the money to do it and all that. So yeah, but thank you so much for the idea, and thanks for letting me know that that was the topic you were looking for. Aïwa. Donc c'est ça, hein? Berete, Ako, oui, je suis en train d'étudier la langue en cours, j'ai hâte de prendre des cours avec toi. Question, c'est difficile d'approcher les gens dans la rue. All right, so est-ce que c'est difficile d'approcher les gens dans la rue? Bah, je dirais que bah, ça peut être. Enfin, j'avoue que quand je l'ai fait la première fois, j'étais un peu mal à l'aise parce que bon, enfin, j'avais pas l'habitude de juste, enfin, s'approcher de quelqu'un en leur demandant si on pouvait les filmer et tout. Mais vu qu'en fait, je savais dans mon cœur que quand même j'avais une bonne justification, il fallait juste accepter. Bon, j'ai transpiré un peu parce que j'étais un peu angoissé, mais au final, ça a marché quoi. Il fallait juste dire, ok, bon, haketo, mbe baradokela o barani anyasinimbe ni le mamba feka video ke mi bese ka moko deme ka jula kan le kalan. Bon, donc la plupart des gens, bon, ils t'écoutent parce que je pense qu'il y a quand même une dynamique un peu curieuse où les gens se disent, ah, bah, ils se disent, bon, c'est quand même un Toubabou qui parle Jula, donc ils sont un peu ouverts déjà. Bon, les gens sont ouverts en général, je trouve, même si je parlais en français, mais le fait que ça soit en mandingue, c'est quelque chose qui ouvre beaucoup plus la porte, quoi. Parce que les gens se disent, bon, en fait, c'est un peu particulier. Bon, moi, je ne voudrais pas que ça soit pour ça qu'on m'écoute, qu'on me parle, mais c'est une réalité, donc je ne peux pas le nier. Et bon, après, une fois que tu commences à savoir t'y prendre, ça devient de plus en plus facile, quoi. Donc bon, j'espère que ça aide. Sinon, oui, tu peux regarder. Bon, j'ai un cours Basic Bambara. Basic Bambara is like a whole series. C'est toute une série qui est en anglais sur la chaîne YouTube de grammaire, quoi. Donc, je ne sais pas là où tu étudies, mais sinon, si tu veux un petit complément, tu peux suivre cette série et en fait, ça va vraiment expliquer toute la grammaire de 1 à 1. Et si tu as besoin de plus d'aide au-delà de ces vidéos, j'ai un cours sur mon site Beginner Bambara. C'est un cours en anglais, mais là, il y a des exercices, des flashcards, des quiz et tout. Donc, bon, je sais pas, dis-moi si tu as des questions sur le cours, mais sinon, oui, la série Basic Bambara sur la chaîne, ça pourrait carrément t'aider. Aïe. Bon, c'est ça. Donc seulement, éconé. Even on second that, I says one guy said pomme de terre. How do you say it in Jula and Bambara? Nemalon that, nekone nemalon. I think that's an interesting question because actually the question is, when did pomme de terre arrive in West Africa? So I know woso. Woso is more like des patates douces or like yams, but pomme de terre, I'm not actually sure when they were introduced to West Africa. Perhaps it was only during the colonial era, so people always think of them as pomme de terre. I can try looking it up. Let me see if I look it up really quickly. Perhaps there might be other like kind of equivalents that people use, but in my experience, yeah, no, even in the dictionary here, the only form that I see is pommiteri. So that seems to be the written form that most people use. So yeah, I don't think that it has a historical name before. Perhaps it was only introduced after the colonial era, and so there's not a local language name. Let me know, does anyone else out there think that they have a name for it? Iniche. Okay, so okay, so we have Berete who admits, yes, I'm writing myself, but sometimes I use Google Translation when I'm not sure. Ute basi iba do am bebe deme. Google Translate fana abiseka andeme. If you want to do it and not use Google Translate, which should sometimes kind of be like a crutch that actually doesn't help you learn, you could think about using an actual dictionary. I have one on my website, dictionary.ankata.com, which is kind of made for learners, and it's completely free. That dictionary would actually force you to look up and use the terms, and if you can't figure things out, you can always use the forum. There's a forum that's linked to the dictionary, so you can ask questions in there, or you can, if you look for something and it's not listed, then it will pop up in the forum. It's a little bit like word reference. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that dictionary, but yeah, sometimes that's better than Google Translate. Google Translate is a tool, but I think for most students, I really tell them, hey, you learn the grammar, the basics, and then you use a real dictionary for the language to go further. So, nara sona, ni kona fone ni abideme. Iniche. All right. So, Jackson akodi mbafe kato dumike. Donc otuma ibana ita sebete ibana foko. Let's see if I can pop this up. What we would actually want to say here is Mbafe katodum. Katodum, walama katodum. So actually, the way that you would want to spell that, you don't want to say kadumike. First of all, the expression would normally be kaduminike. So here, let me see if I can add another one of these and it'll make more sense. Oop. So, kaduminike. So kaduminike means literally to do eating. So the verb though is dung in Bambara, in Jula it's dumu. And so this expression kaduminike is just to do eating as in to eat. So if you want to say I want to eat mbafe kaduminike, but if you want to say I want to eat to, then you would actually say mbafe katodum. Walima mbafe katodumu. And that's because if it has a direct object, you don't use the expression kaduminike. All right, I hope that helps, Jackson. Otherwise, iniche, alaka to chama dima. Ayo. Donc c'est ça. Let's see if we have some other comments in here. So, actually, I think has a great point. I think garaba is basically cheaper cheke. Nefana neba mirite. I think in the video that comes out, I think people are like, one guy says, na mena. So, si ça dure, if it's been out for a long time, then it's cheke. And most people are like, yeah, it's what men make. So it's like laborers, men that are just looking to have a full stomach. It's very particular. I'm not sure if tuna is cheaper, and that's why it's always tuna. But in any case, that's how people view it. But yeah, it's kind of like the poor man's version of cheke. Aywa. So Sisan, Jackson says, two of my favorites from Mali are zame, sort of a jollof, saga saga, dark green sauce made of stewed leaves, and love them both. All right, so I don't know saga saga. I'm not familiar with that name. Is there anyone else watching that could comment on that? Otherwise, what I do know is something like this. For nzame, you could look this up in the dictionary. So if we went to, for instance, let me try this. How does this go? Yeah, so let's go to the dictionary. So if you were using this dictionary and you looked up, I wonder if we could find it. Let's look up just rice and see if we get it. So rice, kini and malo, but then you're obviously jollof rice, nzame. So nzame, you can see it actually has two spellings. This actually is the main one. I need to update the dictionary. Nzame, a lot of people don't like this spelling convention. It's pre-nasalization, having N and then S. Hopefully I'll make it a little bit bigger, you can see. There you go. So this is how officially you're supposed to write it in Bambara. In Jula, sometimes it's written nzame. So yeah, this is, I've literally just translated it as jollof rice. Obviously, riz gras is the name in French. So I think it gives you an idea. You can see also that here in France, for instance, everyone calls it cheb. I mean, I think there it depends on what you put on it, and that's from Wolof, but yeah. So that's how I'd spell those. Otherwise, I don't know the other one. What was the name of the one that you were talking about? Hold on, let me get out of this share if I can. And then hopefully we can come back to talking. Ayo. Yeah, so saga saga. Does anyone else there know what saga saga is? Dark green sauce made of stewed leaves. Love them both. Ayo. Bon, nala sonama na dodumu ni nana pari iba foye amisekata dumu nyogofe. Ayo. Fakoi. Ok, so there we have fakoi is a plat traditionnel. C'est du riz blanc avec une sauce noire et de la viande. C'est un plat de gao qui est délicieux. You know, it's funny, actually, that comes up a bit. There was some terms in the episode where people were talking about various kinds of sauces. And one of my friends was like, oh, it's kind of like fakoi. Yeah, I think fakoi might be songrai. So that's why I actually don't know it. I never was in that part of Mali. I mostly learned the language in Jula-speaking areas originally, and then later was in Bamako, but a lot of times I don't have these references. So we'll have to do another episode in Bamako. But yes, fakoi, we should eat that one. Let's see. Okay, so we didn't do a video about drinks, but Solmar proposes another one for drinks, Nyamakuji and Dableni. Actually, that one's interesting because Dableni, oye bamanakane, me julakana amba foko daji. So dablen, right, is just red da, so the da. And dableni then is going to be little red da. But in Jula, you just call it daji. So instead of just going little red one, you actually say the juice of the daji. And then otherwise, nyamakuji, right, is just ginger juice, nyamakuji. But yes, good idea. I think we do need to do another one about juices. Okay. Soma also says, one future topic maybe is how to ask people, is to ask how people would describe family names meaning. Yeah, that could be possible. Do you mean specifically that about where the literal meaning is? Kante, walima kulbali, akoro yere yere muye? Or do you mean like more about the lineage or the history behind the name? But yeah, I definitely think it could be a cool topic. There are going to be, how many more episodes? 7 more episodes of street episodes. And then I also have, how many? 4 other videos that will be coming out this year. So I'm going to aim to do 1 a month. So there are some new things covered. I'm not going to reveal what I'm covering, but I do think that's a good idea. So Berete says, est-il possible d'avoir des cours pour pratiquer et parler car c'est la pratique en elle-même qui me manque. Faites-vous des cours particuliers? Yes, I do. Enfin oui, je fais des cours particuliers. Donc surtout pour ceux qui sont un peu déjà avancés, ça peut être intéressant parce qu'on peut faire des cours. On bosse vraiment sur l'expression. Parce qu'il y a beaucoup de gens, surtout qui sont d'origine ouest-africaine, qui disent oui, en fait, avec ma famille, j'ai du mal parce que soit ils peuvent pas expliquer, ou soit ils rigolent, ou soit ils me répondent toujours en français. Donc souvent, bon, moi je peux donner un coup de main pour ceux qui disent en fait j'ai besoin de bosser, et j'ai une série d'activités, d'articles et des trucs qu'on peut faire avec beaucoup de trucs qui sont vraiment exprès pour que tu prennes la parole. Enfin, donc surtout j'ai eu des gens qui ont des blocages, ils disent en fait je comprends tout, donc j'ai eu à bosser sur ça, donc n'hésite pas, si tu vas sur encatar.com, il y a une rubrique Lessons, il y a même une page qui s'appelle Cours particuliers, et tu peux prendre rendez-vous pour un appel et on peut en parler, il n'y a pas de problème. Aywa, iniche, ijara. Aywa, so Jara says, yes, I use your dictionary, okai kosobe, okai kosobe. Aywa, and says it's very useful, by the way. Okay, that's great to know. I'm glad to hear that an actual learner is using it. I really want to update it. I mean, we do update it, and I do update it kind of regularly. I don't always roll out the updates, but I really want to do a new version of the dictionary where you could like save the words and the search engine would be better. We'll see. Don. So let's see. So Jackson says, awesome, thanks Coleman. Okay, so I think it's about some of the spelling stuff. Saga. So Karen Berman chimes in and says, saga is delicious. It's yam leaf sauce. Okay, so woso lea. Inafo fenga woso. Ibe a fenga a flaburu. Iba aleta ka ke naye. Aleloa. So let us know, is that what it is? You take the woso and you take the leaf from it to make saga. And let me look I'm going to look in another dictionary here and see if I can find saga, because I'm not personally familiar with it. But let's look and see if we see it here. Okay, so I do see it here. Actually, oh yeah, there's actually a bunch of different types. So here, let me pull this up if I can without messing everything up. So you can see here that they actually say saga is a sauce pour le riz fait de manioc et de patatus with l'huile de palme. Okay, so it's with the palm oil, and then it can be different feuilles. That's one of the things that I found was really interesting doing this episode, is there's a number of things like na norolang, that's in the episode as well, that na norolang is actually a category that encompasses like a kind of leaf. It's not one specific leaf from one plant, it's more like a category of them, and it sounds like saga could be the same way, that actually it can be fait de manioc, fait de patate douce, or woso, or anything like that. So really interesting. Thank you so much for chiming in, and hopefully I'll be able to eat some of it and try it later. So thank you, Karen. Really appreciate it. Oh, here we actually have another comment, so more on this. So saga is sweet potato leaves with palm oil and meat and catfish. We call it buruje in Guinea. Buruje, oye manikakan ledi wa ale kanyuman le. Ni soso le wa manikakan le wa kanyuman le. So I'm just curious if Burukhe is a particular language. When you say it's in Guinea, is that what people call it in French, or what's the original source? But yeah, so it sounds like we've confirmed that sweet potato leaves. What else do we have? So Karen says, Zame I saw a lot in villages. I think it's dried river eel and cooked with rice and sumbala. Actually, in my experience, we talked about zame just a little bit ago. Zame is just riz gras. So it doesn't, for us, it never had to do with the specific animal or specific meat or thing or with it. It was just like jollof rice. And you can put sumbala on it. One of the guys in the video talks about sumbara fri. So sumbara fri is kind of a way to talk about a jollof rice that's kind of recooked in the pan. But yeah, I wasn't familiar with it being specific with dried river eel, though it sounds like that might have been a delicacy where you were. Aywa. And then we have you ever tried dege from Aminata? Yeah, nka dum chama neko ni nebe dege mi de, nebe dege mi. Ni ye do soro sisan ba mi. Donc iba fon ye dro ni ye do tobi ne ba mi. Dege ka dine de. I really, really like dege, especially in Burkina. There was, when I lived in Waiguya in the north, before moving to the western part of the country for like my 2 years of Peace Corps service, there was like a place where you get fresh milk that had just been put in the fridge that day, and then you get dege, so like hot dege into the cold milk. I loved that. It was so, so good. I love it. No one talked about it in the video. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do more episodes about food. I know. And Aminata says, it's my favorite dessert. Mais ijodo. Antes se kai korofo. Donc, donc, tanae, dron, ebe deke dumu, amba mi, ambeba mi, odekai. Donc, c'est ça. Donc, Ha says, nede ya fe iye ma demenye, mna manigra la fisa, sisande toni mfale bolo. Ale benewale adie wole ye ke ndi manigaka mena anyuma la koninte se afola. Donc ako njafe nede yafe iye ma deme nye na manigaka la fisa. Si sandi tonim falebolo. Donc nkoni nka ila kumani nka nyaye koni ika foko ile tonen infalebolo koleko isi la ifalebolo ba iye fenga ikoni iye yorome ma lelo nkoni ngese i mademena niko ia fe ka maninga kankara nkoni nka dolo ala ne koni ntere maninga lufe ntere kankan mfana ngese maninga fenga nko le karana nko koni nafaka siala niko ia fe ka ila maninga kan la fisaya Otetanadi idise chisebe chila kadima au kofe andi baro. Donc voilà. Surtout sur le site, si tu vas sur ankata.com, il y a une section pour les cours et les cours particuliers. So, potentiellement, c'est quelque chose qui pourrait être intéressant. Aïe. So Berete says, yes, dege is awesome. Ouais, allez, tiens, besona. Et tu sais qu'à faux. Est-ce que mon be mite dege fait? Nite dege fait et fatoye. Aïe. So Jackson says, I remember. So this is actually makes me curious, Jackson. What do you remember it for? Where did you live, or where did you spend time in West Africa? And yeah, what variety of Manding did they speak? So I remember types of na with kinirto, tege dege na, and gana. Yeah, so in this video it comes up a lot. They thought Ghana. So it's actually Gua, like in Bambara it's typically written Ghana. But in this episode you hear they have the Jula accent, so it comes out as Gwana. Yeah, so that comes up a lot. I was surprised not more people said Tigedegana. It does come up twice in the episode. But yeah, though Tigedegana is my favorite, though I prefer it on rice, to be honest, more than to. Or on what they call futu, which is banadato or barandato. So kind of bananku mixed with baranda or with loco. So you mix plantains with cassava and then you put tigedeganana. Aleka dide anyote. Aïe. So, Bérédé says le jus de bouillet aussi. Le bouillet, c'est quoi? Moi, je connais pas bouillet. Bon, ça doit être un enfin un fruit ou un truc comme ça. Mais peut-être on connaît mieux le nom en bambara. Moi, je connais pas le nom en français. Donc le jus de bouillie, c'est quoi? Allez mouiller. Afo bamana kanade. Aywa. C'est ça. Hein? Jackson Cole. Does anyone know the name for little rice cakes that were steamed or fried in cast iron molds on the street in Bamako? Womitea. Womitea. Afle amba sebeko womi. Let me see if I can write it for you. So, c'est ça. Amba foko womi. Womitea. And I think I actually have a picture. Let me see if I can pull up a little. I'm going to go back to my images here. Did I save any of them? I don't have any on hand, but actually, womi, it's going to be, this picture is not the best, but let's see if it's still helpful for you. So if I go to, can you see like this kind of cast iron thing? Is that what you're talking about? You can see here they call it fini womi. So there's different kinds, but womi in general is just these beignets that are in these cast iron skillets. So that's womi. So yeah, you can actually look it up even in the dictionary here. I think if you put, what is it, under fritter for English? It should come up. Womi. Yeah, so you can see. I didn't put more details about it there, but womi. Galette en français. I think that's what you're talking about. Let's see. So I'm going to come back here. Aywa. So I think that's it. Let me know if that's what it is. And what else do we have? Bereteko, quelle ville ou pays préfères-tu en Afrique de l'Ouest? So what town or country do I prefer in West Africa? Obekadine de neteseka foko dokadine katemedoka. J'aime tous les endroits, tous les pays. Bon, enfin, Bobo Dioulasso, ça me tient à cœur. Ben, c'est là où j'étais quand j'étais au Burkina. Bon, enfin, j'étais pas à Bobo, mais c'était la grande ville de la région. Et je trouve que Bobo, c'est beaucoup moins de poussière que Bamako. Mais on parle Djoula quand même. Mais il y a quand même une culture un peu plus de maquis. Il y a beaucoup, c'est plus un carrefour. Bamako, bon, je trouve que c'est plus facile de sortir la nuit, manger de la viande au bord de la route et d'être un peu plus tranquille. Il y a un peu plus une mélange entre ce qu'on retrouve au Mali et puis en Côte d'Ivoire quand on est à Bobo. Donc, bon, nekone nebebo yorla netumbe. Donc, neteseka foko yoronunu yorotonunu mai. Nga mika dine kosobe ole Bobo Dioulasso ye oye Burkina le nga o beka dine donc neteseka foko doka fisani doye. Ayo. Donc berete ko neta dom bamanakan na foika foko bamanakan na neta dom bamanakan na jus de baobab. Donc c'était ça, jus de baobab. Sra mugujita. Sra mugujita. Amba foko sra muguji. C'est le mugu, c'est le poudre. Et Nsra, c'est le baobab. Donc Nsra muguji. Ouais, c'est vrai que c'est très bon le jus de baobab. Donc, faut en caler que fana de. Faut en caler que. Maintenant, au vidéo que fana. Ayo. Donc, Jackson says, exactly, that's it. Okay, so, womi, c'est ça, ebe womi lo. Womi koni akadi, soroma, moroba yirang, ka soroka dum. Akadi that. And it's really good if you get it and then put it into nonokumu. So, some people buy it and then you put it into curdled milk with some sugar. Aleka did that. And then we have actually Aminata who says womi and moni is so good together. Yeah, so moni is like in like a porridge or like baga. Yeah, so that's actually the other option. I like to break it up and put it into nonokumu, as I was saying, but actually putting womi into porridge, moni, is also super good. Aywa. So if there aren't any more questions, I think we'll wrap things up. This live has been really fun. A little bit long, but I hope that you all enjoyed it. Nala sona ni jara au beye. Ni alba feka ndeme, abiseka unka video ni, abiseka chatting, abiseka yireke. So don't hesitate to share the video with other people, to talk about it. That would really be what would help me, grow Ankata and be able to do more videos. If you really want to help Ankata, think about becoming a patron or throwing me a tip. There's a link, go to the website or patreon.ankata.com. There's 60 or so people that are patrons, and it's really, that's why I was able to do the second season. Donc now bafe kan deme abaseka ke petranye atumbena janye kosobe. Otherwise, if you're interested in studying Bambara or learning, check out the resource on the website. There's a short podcast for an introduction, the course in beginner Bambara. Sometimes I do private lessons. And then, there's a beginner Maninka class, which is in the works. So don't hesitate to get in touch if you're interested in those resources. Aywa. So I think we have some last comments that have been coming in. Let's see. So Jackson says, "Netumbe malla. Ah, itumbe malla. Okay. Nga itumbe yorojime. Itumbe yorojime. Itun tara mukosan. Berete ko dibisoko kainde. Ah, le fana kain." Mais did you watch the video that I did? Est-ce que tu as regardé la vidéo que j'ai fait sur le dibisoko? C'est dans la série Baraketo avec le type qui fait du dibisoko à Montreuil. Le nom de sa boutique c'est Face au Dibi. Donc en fait, si tu vas sur la chaîne, il y a la série qui s'appelle Baraketo. Je peux même te le montrer. Est-ce que tu l'as vu? Dis-moi si tu l'as déjà vu. Attends, comment je fais? Je vais faire un petit partage là. Et si tu vas sur Baraketo, je pense, I think it'll come up. Yeah, so we have this episode. So you should check this one out. That one is all about Dibi and the shop in Paris. Donc, ça pourrait être intéressant. Ici même, Niba fait un peu ce qu'attaque, ambena sogonyimi nyorofe, odekai. All right, so let's see. Do we have a few other questions here? We have Ibrahim says, would you like to interview the Dafina people of Burkina and find out about their culture? Their language was derived from Bambara. So Dafi koni nebe Dafiun long. Nebe Dafiun long. I definitely would love to introduce Dafin people. I don't think saying that their language is derived from Bambara is how I would put it. I think that Dafi is a Mandang variety, just like Bambara is a Mandang variety. I think they all come from the same place, but I don't think that Dafin is just an offshoot of Bambara. I actually think they're both offshoots of an older Mandang thing. But I would love to do videos. I mean, when I was in Burkina, I met lots of people that were Dafin. There was actually a Dafin community or kind of courtyard in the village where I served in Peace Corps. So if you have any connections or people that want to talk, I'd love to do it. Ayo. Donc c'est ça. Berete says, yes, we enjoy. Thank you very much, Coleman. Hey, Iniche, merci beaucoup. Thank you very much, Berete. Je vais garder cela, merci. Okay, cool, great. Okay, so you meant you hadn't seen that video yet. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you didn't watch it. You definitely have to watch that one. It's just about one person, and it just covers, their shop and what they're doing as an entrepreneur selling dibisogo. Niba fe ambitai. Ire iko di iko nala sona amanata sogonyimi akadibi ni akadi kosobe walai akadi aywa. All right, so Natisa says, I love your videos, continue the good work. I'm really gonna try. Thank you so much. It really means a lot to me to hear from you all. This is cool. If you want me to do more lives or anything, please let me know. Otherwise, ne baufo ka wali nyumado ka foko alaka suhere chaya ni sokomado aufe alaka tlehere chaya kambe alaka wati were yirana auniche.